Morning, and it's a Sunday morning, and I'm doing work on the booster. Well, modifying it so it's more comfortable for me. Is this the only reason I buy bikes, so I can do bits to them? Nah. But that's what I'm doing. I'm putting bar risers on, and this is from motocnc.com, and it's a 27mm riser, and all you got to do is undo these 4 bolts here, because this plate actually screws to the top yoke, which is situated under there. So this whole plate with your clip-ons just comes off your top yoke. Put that in place, 4 bolts, screw it down, as quick as that. None of this, well, hopefully none of this extending clutch or brake lines or electrics or throttle cables like you do with a normal conversion kit. So I thought that's where I want to be. I am getting on with the sweep of the handlebars. They don't seem anywhere near as brutal as like my Corona, which is obviously a smaller bike, so I don't know whether it's the overall width of the bike or what, but it's quite comfortable. I just want to sit up a bit more, so I'll put bar risers on, take it out of that. That's what I'm doing. Anyway, I've got a bit of a kit going on here in prep, and I've thrown a spanner down there, don't know why. So I'm going to take the screen out, and to be honest, I've had to watch a video on it. I know I'll replace the screen on my other booster, but I've had to watch someone else's video as to how to do it, because I was sure it's just a bolt there and a bolt there, which it pretty much is, apart from you've got to take the little rubbery grommet bits out as well. So I've done one. I'm just going to do the other one. Let's get that out of the way. Perch you there. Manoeuvre that, point to that so I know you can see it, and then what I found was, oh, I can't get hold of it. What I found was I can't get hold of it. There you go, that's better. If you take the screw out to get the little grommet out, there's two plastic poppers on the inside of your binnacle, the plastic bit. Probably see it better down there. This bit here that I've undone, I think that should just pull out now, but I've given it a bit of a tug and then I got scared, so I'm not pulling that out. But what I found was it gives me enough room to get a longer screw, and rather than pulling the nut of this rubber mount through, screw the screw in a little bit and use it to push it through, because it's got the nut in and the fat collar, which is what compresses up against the screen to hold it in place. To pull it through is harder than this soft rubber being pushed through. So that's what I did. That's what I did, and it was a success. You saw it was a success. So use that technique, or don't use that technique. Entirely up to you. Now this should pull out. Like that. Let's put that somewhere where I'm bound to kick it. Can you kick it? Yes, you can. That'll need cleaning before I put that back. Tart. Right, so I've taken one of the caps off. Tried it with a screwdriver, that didn't work. So now I'm using a knife, which has got a thinner blade to get underneath. Like that. That one's got a crack across it. Bit more sunk in, this one. Oh, ruined it. Ruined it. That's them four out. And then I want a 8mm Allen key. Is that turning the whole thing? It's just an Allen bolt. Oh, that's in the wrong angle. Yeah, it's moving the whole thing. Let's take the key out of the way. See if we can get a socket on there. There you go. Yeah, so I'm just hoping everything else doesn't need extending. And the riser cost me 80 quid. Oh, there's a washer. I'm going to drop it. Oh, fingers are all through the cable. So it's just a bolt washer and that, like that. So I'll do that to the other three and I'll bring you back when I'm taking it off. Okay, 4 off. That should just lift off out of the way, and then I need to stick this on that way. There's cups in the bottom which go on your rubberized washery doobry spacer thingies. So that sits on there. Oh, we're knocked off there. You know when you shouldn't touch stuff. Oh, is there a cone? There's a cone underneath as well. Didn't realise that. 4. Alright, stick that back there. Stick that on there, that'll hold that in. Then stick that on there like that, and although it's not pinching onto the forks, it's open so you can adjust your suspension if you want it. Some people do, some people don't. And then this goes back on like that. Simple as that. And then they supply the longer bolts. Don't supply any new washers, but they supply the bolts, which is very generous of them. 80 quid this was. If anyone's querying that. If anyone's thinking, I wonder how much this marvellous piece of engineering cost. It was 80 quid. And I think that was Amazon rather than Fleabay. Right, so that's the 4 bolts located. At the moment everything seems okay. The ignition wires are going to be okay because you're not moving the ignition at all. It is just the throttle. It's all alright. And that hasn't moved. So yeah, it's the hydraulics. So I'll pinch these up and then make sure I can go lock to lock without any interference on my brake or clutch lines. They're bigger nuts. Bigger bloody nuts, aren't they? Yeah, bigger nuts. Need a bigger socket. Right, bigger socket, got it. That's 17mm nuts. Going back on, there were 14mm coming off. I don't know why. And that is that. Right. There's the missus. Must be breakfast time. Okay. That has definitely sat me up. It does feel nice. None of the pipes and that are getting caught. Yeah, there's the upgrade. Well, in my mind it's an upgrade. Some people might think I'm already ruining this bike. So now I'm going to put the screen back on and just make sure nothing... Oh, see you later. The reservoirs don't foul the screen, but looking at the way that was sweeping, it should be fine. But yes, I'll get the screen and I'll start putting that back together. Okay, just the screen to go back in. Did I say just? What is happening? Right, made that look easy. And then the pluggy bits should just push in. Want the longer bolt again. Like that. Just double check. Yeah, that's through. That's through. Like that. And one of the plastic clippy bits. In there. Pull in, just to push that through. Like that. That's actually a bit too far. Try that again. Alright, that's better. And the last clip. Which was actually missing. So it's lucky I have spares. There you go, there's my bar risers. Oh yeah, it's a longer bolt I've just thrown on the floor. That's how it looks. I don't know whether you can see that. Let's put some light on it. There you go. Doesn't look a lot different to stock, and it feels like the difference is amazing for the height. As I say, that was the 27mm riser. I don't know whether you can get bigger, and I do think if you do go bigger, then that's just touched, just on the last legs, that's just touched. Clutch is miles away. Oh, let's get up there. So realistically, what would we need? The brake would need to go down a bit. Having said that, it looks a little bit uneven. I think it's the main electric switch that has the lug that goes into your bar. This is just clamped on, so if that goes down a little bit, that'll miss that, but it is just on a full lock, that's just touching that. But that really does feel quite nice. It's just sat me up that little bit. Obviously the proof is in the pudding, and I'm just the pudding to go out and try that. But first, I've got to put my new seat cover on. As you might have noticed, I've taken the old seat cover off. But that's another video. There you go. That's an old fat man in his shed raising up his Busa bars by 27mm. And it's not sponsored. Where's the card? This is who I bought it off. Moto CNC Precision Performance, the UK's #1 handlebar riser manufacturer. There you go. And the only reason I bring your attention to that is, as I say, that cost me 80 quid, and I think it was off Amazon. But if I tell them I've put this video on YouTube, they'll give me a tenner back. So if that works out, it's only cost me £69.99 instead of £79.99, which is more of a bargain. But yes, hopefully. I mean, I was out bank holiday Monday for 4 hours, and I really did feel fine after that. Whereas the Corona, about an hour's worth on that, and I'm broken. But yeah, 4 hours and I was fine, which sort of surprised me. But now I've lifted them up a bit, I should be able to go, I don't know, 4 hours 8 minutes or something. But yeah, there you go. That's me on a Sunday fitting some bar risers. Thanks for watching. Catch you again. Ta-ra.